Hey guys, in today's episode, we listen to some voicemails from our league mates as we break down the playoff matchup this week.
Welcome to the Coach and Commish podcast. No, not Adam Gase, and definitely not Roger Goodell. It's Chris and Sean breaking down fantasy football for the everyday man.
Welcome back. You're here with the Coach and Commish. I'm Chris, Sean on my right. And today starts playoff week.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? Well, that's me, right? That's what I get to say. Playoffs?
Yeah, Mr. Last. No, you ended up at
I ended up like ninth.
Yeah.
If I had one more week, if I didn't lose to you in that terrible matchup we both had, I might have threatened.
Yeah.
Might have. But it's okay. I got 3 rings to keep me happy for, 3 more years? No. I'm really missing the playoffs. Asterisk. Just one's an asterisk. All right, so real quick before we go to the voicemail, Sean, let's just look at the first week of playoffs here. We got Phil and yourself having the bye week. What are the 2 big matchups this week in week 15?
So we've got a rematch of last week's, which was LeRoy versus Daniel. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Tim playing Morgan, which honestly I'm super excited for that one. I'm already getting plenty of trash talk in a chat that I have with Morgan and Tim, and Morgan made a comment. I'll probably say it in here, but he made some comment of that, though they won't remember the championship this year, they'll remember this week's matchup.
Ooh, hey, that's some big talk right there. So yeah, before we even want to break this down, let's listen to what our league mates might have to say.
Let's see what they have to say. Yeah, so we got. I think we were able to get everybody on here. So all 4 teams that are playing this week, we have a voicemail from. So we'll start with Daniel, Mr. 6th seed. He made it in.
Hello, Coach and Commish. I would like to start out by saying that I think the right team made it into the 6th spot in the playoffs.
Of course.
It was well-deserved, hard-fought, and as we saw, the way the standings shake out, literally came down to the wire. David Montgomery doesn't catch 1 or 2 of those passes, and Matt is in the playoffs. And
that's insane.
Yeah. As we all saw how devastating it was for Chris, for our league when Chris claimed the title in his first year. We definitely didn't want that to happen again, though. So I'm glad I stopped the surging.
Appreciate you.
The surging Uncle Ricos for making it in. I think of all the teams in the playoffs, I have the hardest road. The way it's shaped up right now is I'll play LeRoy in the first week, followed by Sean, and then the winner of Phil, Morgan, and Tim. So of all of those, I think I have the hardest road to the playoffs, but I think I've gotten lucky enough times this season that I can hopefully pull out another one. But of the 6 teams in the playoffs, if I go out, I think I got to root for Phil. I was the only one that voted for him on Joe's poll. And
it's Joe's poll. We can correct that.
I like the new Phil this year, rebranded and ready to go. Stress-free fantasy football.
All right. Of course he thinks the best team made the 6th spot there, but he's right. We almost had that rookie sensation again.
I know. After it looked like his season was far over, but
good comeback.
I enjoyed your voicemail, Daniel. I was waiting for the trash talk, though. Where's the trash talk towards LeRoy? It's not a good way to start this.
I think it's a little reverse psychology. He's trying to be too nice right now.
He's enjoying that he's on this ride as the 6th seed, squeaked in. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look here real quick I'll pull up his roster here. If you want to just talk for a little bit, Chris, I'll pull up the roster.
All right, so Daniel and LeRoy coming into this week's matchup. LeRoy gets back Jonathan Taylor, the devastating one-man show he is, and Daniel on Thursday night, Austin Eckler is questionable with an ankle injury. So just 2 stories of running backs here. There wasn't a big win for Daniel this week. So LeRoy's being at full power, and Eckler, if he does play, will he be at full strength against a divisional opponent, Kansas City, on Thursday night?
Yeah, I mean, we'll break down LeRoy's when we hear his voicemail, but as far as his team goes, I think you're right for Daniel. For the Turtles, he's going to need Eckler in there. He's going to need something to counteract that. Even if it's not, it's hard to counteract a Jonathan Taylor performance, but Eckler has it in him to do so. So I really hope that he's available for him. It sounded like he could have come back. I've heard reports of that. So, yeah, I think his team will be full ready to go. and that'll be a helpful thing for him. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up this next one. We'll go ahead and go to LeRoy since that's his matchup, and let's hear what LeRoy's had to say.
Hey guys, just sending in this voicemail about this upcoming playoff week. Congratulations to everybody that made it into the playoffs. What a feat in such a crazy year. A lot of the things came down to the wire. A couple of points were keeping some people out of the playoffs. So congratulations to everybody who made it, and good luck to all the people that will be fighting for that first pick. Thankfully, this week I get the opportunity to avenge my last loss against Daniel. Jonathan Taylor will be back to run all over the Turtles. Marshawn Lynch style, just like Daniel changed his picture to Marshawn Lynch. So I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm happy to be here after all the trading and craziness that went down throughout this year. Looking forward to hopefully advancing throughout these playoffs. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see what happens. Starts Thursday night. So good luck to everyone.
A little bit of trash talk, a little bit of niceness in there.
Yeah,
So
he wasn't throwing too much down there, but we've got some COVID issues. We'll talk about that at the other podcast here, but it hits LeRoy's lineup. Odell hits the list. Landry hits the list. He gets Jonathan Taylor back. Can he slide Penny in there at the flex spot and get that same 26-point production? It looks right. Like when you look at it, you think he should be okay. What do you think, Sean?
yeah, I think he will be. He's probably going to be forced to play Metcalf. I know that's something that he probably is hoping he doesn't have to do. At this point, he's got to be sick of what he's been getting from Metcalf. I had him as a turntables. I really thought something would happen at this point, but something's not working between him and Russ right now.
It's not. It's just not right. There's something wrong there.
And then Russ is his starting quarterback, and I mean, I would highly consider benching Russ if you want a better option. It just depends on what's out there on the waiver wire. But yeah, it could be a rough one here for LeRoy if Russ doesn't show up. But he's got Jonathan Taylor, so it all may not matter. If he goes off for a 50-point game, then the rest of your team doesn't have to do too much.
Yeah. So we can talk about our favorites there later, but let's go on to our next one here.
All right, let's go to the doctor, Dr. Tim James.
Dr. James.
Hey, what's up, league mates? League villain here.
The new
Getting ready to gear up for the playoff run here. Getting
Steelers
excited
fans always.
for it. I wish my team was a little bit healthier going into the stretch run here. Just wanted to shout out my opponent this week. Morgan's really come a long way. I mean, he's only a year or two removed from being the guy we questioned if he was still in the league. To now, he gives us all of the percentages of people being on the field and whatnot. He's obviously doing his homework at home. He's come a long way. He started the season losing, I think, was 4 of 5. Then he went on a little run, won 4 of 5. And then now, again, has gone on a little bit of a rough stretch there, including a loss to me by a kicker, which he so proudly wants and demands that we continue to have in the league. I can only hope that is the same result we get this last time, where it comes down to a kicker, and obviously my kicker prevails. I'm terrified that if I lose to Morgan, I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, you won't.
I think moving forward, I'm concerned to root for Morgan because we're creating a monster. I hope the rest of the league recognizes that and realizes its terrifying potential. So we have to do our best to beat Morgan moving forward. That's all. Good luck to everybody this weekend, except for Morgan.
There you go. The Tim Flair at the end.
Yes, the league villain. I'm looking at his roster here. COVID hit his as well.
Everybody's
as a
gonna be hit by
Miami fan. I was listening today. We're recording on a Tuesday. 34 players hit on Monday for the COVID list across the NFL. Mm-hmm. And just think about if his linemen and defenses, how much that can change for a team. But the whole Miami backfield is on the COVID list.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys are non-vaccinated, so they have to probably sit out the whole time.
Yeah, it's not going to matter, I think, too much to the Dolphins because it's not like we had some star running back that we can't throw a guy off the street and get 80% production. But as far as fantasy goes, if you were trying to get Gaskin in there, which I think he'll be all right. He's got Melvin Gordon still. That's probably who he most likely slots into there against Cincinnati.
But a matchup of a Gaskin in the playoffs versus the Jets.
That's true.
Was something favorable.
Yep.
For Tim.
Yeah. like I said, his depth affords him not to worry about that too much.
Yeah.
The real concern for him, I know, is going to come with his Hollywood Brown. He really thought he found an answer in that. It's not really been an answer. We keep talking about our bet here. If neither,
barely.
I'm going to say if they don't finish, I feel like we're both going to have to get watered if they're not like if neither is a top like 30 back or wide receiver, then we got to both get watered.
Yeah,
I think,
I think we both deserve it on there. We were both solid about it. And Lamar Jackson.
And then the other thing I think that's really going to affect this matchup is the Rams situation with Sony Michel and Darrell Henderson, because if I'm Tim, I hope that Henderson continues to sit because Sony is more than capable and got all the work. But I really think he's now established himself to the point where when he puts he's going to have to put Henderson in if he's full go.
Yeah.
And then I think that Sony is going to end up sucking those carries we were concerned about at the beginning of the year. He will now get probably a good 60-40 split, I think is legitimately going to happen.
60-40 is very, I think it's very expected, but I could even see straight up 50-50 if they're both hitting
I think Sony's earned it, but the way he's looked the last few weeks. So.
Yeah. All right, so who we got to play next? Oh, man, I can't wait for this
We've got the captain, the man who's made this segment. He is last on our list and usually the longest, so let's hear what the captain has to say.
Welcome to the 69ers mini podcast here. I'm your host, Morgan. This week, week 14, me against Big Sean. We battled it out in week 3, and he beat me by a couple points, so this is a big revenge game for me.
Try 50-something.
And I knew Thursday night was going to start it off, and I mean, Dalvin Cook just took off 34 points, just ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I knew he was going to blow up, but I mean, 34 points is just insane. And then Tyler Lockett, 24. That's a joke, but he's been doing it. I mean, he's the most inconsistent man I could tell you in the NFL. But I mean, this past 2 weeks he's done it. Javonte Williams, 20 points. Even splitting carries with Melvin Gordon, this man still got 20 points. Just ridiculous. But I mean, he went off 172 points. No way I can compete with that this week. So I lost. But again, this is next week. I'm going up against Big Tim. And I mean, he beat me last time by just like less than a point, a couple points. So it hurts. He's my rival. So I'm all out against him, and I could talk all day about how bad his team is, how trashy his team is, but he's in the playoffs. He's in the playoffs for a reason. Aaron Rodgers, really. But I mean, his team has just been doing great, and I am concerned this week about playing him. Do I have confidence in my team? Not really. Getting in the car, just hoping it starts. I got the players that I want to play, so just going to play them and hope for the best. But, yeah, definitely excited about this weekend, big rivalry weekend. This is like the Super Bowl to me, so giving it my best shot, and we'll see how it goes. But thanks for having me.
Yes, this is the 69er podcast when we get here.
True.
Sean, what do you think about this roster going into Week 15 with Morgan? What's his biggest worry or worries facing the villain?
I mean, it's at running back, of course. He's struggled all year since losing Derrick Henry, and now he's got this Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell. I find I got to hope that Elijah Mitchell's back because it seems like once he's in, he is getting a huge workload and a great backfield. Chase Edmonds is concerning. I know he may be a possibility. He's going to be looking at that kind of Devonta Freeman decision between him. If I'm him, I'm scared for Edmonds. James Conner has legitimately taken over.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like a third down back situation, I think, more for Chase Edmonds. I don't think he's coming back into even a 50-50 split. He gets Waddle back, which is nice. He's going to have a hard decision to choose between. He's got those wide receivers of Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle. I mean, it's going to be hard to make that decision of who to sit out of those four.
Yeah, and Scary Terry is on the injury report this week. I think he had a concussion protocol or something coming out of this past Sunday, so that might ease him.
That's true.
When it comes with that, those receivers, I would sit Terry, start Waddle in the flex, put Deebo.
I mean, are you close to the point with Chase? I mean, I'm almost.
I mean, he was like that, and then he got like 20-something points this week, so he was forever quiet, and then he finally came back. So you are right. There's
still only 5 receptions. He's not getting what he was getting before. Higgins has definitely become
Higgins is feasting.
Yeah.
So I can see the Terry Chase thing being an issue, but I would put Waddle in with the matchup.
Yeah.
All right.
Playing the Jets.
Got to play him against the Jets. Got to keep Devo in there. And then watch the injury report on Terry.
And then lastly would be his quarterback decision here. He picked up Taysom Hill. He's been starting Jalen Hurts all week or all year. So he's going to have to make that decision because
it's a rough decision.
It's so ugly to sit. Actually, they're both ugly to watch.
They are. They are, man.
But you just feel so. To me, I feel safer with Taysom because I just know he's going to get at least like an 80-yard amount of rushing volume out of it, which is fantastic. The matchup is Washington for Jalen Hurts, and then for Taysom Hill, he will be playing Tampa Bay. So.
Yeah, divisional opponents. I don't know. I might lean to Hurts there, but we just saw Josh Allen run all over Tampa Bay on Sunday.
That's what I was gonna. I mean, just for chasing points and needing to create offense, I almost feel like Taysom's the safer play. But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, Morgan, we have no help for you there. That is a coin flip.
So I think that's going to be difficult for you to make that decision. But let's go ahead and we'll do one last voicemail here, and then we'll kind of give our thoughts on the playoffs.
Hello, America, and welcome to the Mike Schoenrock take on the 7-5-7 Podcast League. You've probably seen me in other bigger sports outlets giving you my fantasy advice, but I'll lend my few minutes to this lesser-known podcast between the coach and Commish here. Now, to the few that don't know me, I'm the better twin, the better looking, the better bearded, the amazing fantasy guru that is Mike Schoenrock. I apologize for you guys having to hear things from my lesser half twin,
I'm going to hit him on that.
Chris. But, he may get better in
Wasn't
time.
able to include that in the list.
I need to address the 7-5-7 playoffs, and I really have two hot takes for this. One, I would love to see LeRoy take a long, deep run here. I think it would be fun. No matter what, the meme game, LeRoy's commentary is always entertaining in the chat.
Yes.
But I can't imagine what an acceptance speech from LeRoy would be like on the podcast.
That's true.
I think America would love it.
Him or Morgan.
But my unpopular hot take is I'm rooting for the man Tim James. Tim,
what? Your rival?
I want to see the evil Sith Lord make a run. For a small fee, Tim, I can drop any of my players. For your betterment, just hit me up on Venmo or PayPal, and we can take care of this. Why not up the drama with another Schoenrock helping you out?
Oh, dang.
I mean, the league hated when Chris made that trade with you that looked like it was nothing but in your favor.
Jeez.
So, being the evil Sith Lord, take it out on these guys in the playoffs. Go beat the 69ers in the first round. Go take on Phil in the second. But I would love to see the evil Sith Lord take on the Commish.
Make it to the Super Bowl. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
The Commish who just obliterated the trade. They're even on the podcast, killed it, and just hated so much about it on that league chat we had. It'd be so much fun to see Tim beat him. And then have Chris
but then I have full
sitting in the middle of them
reasons why.
on a podcast when Tim James would give his acceptance speech would just be hilarious because the Commish would blame Chris and then the champ would thank Chris. And I think it would just be hilarious to see what would go down with all that drama. So that's my unpopular hot take.
He's a long-winded guy.
I'm team hashtag evil Sith Lord. Let's see it. Let's make it happen.
All right.
All right, he had a lot to say there.
It's a lot to say, but man, you just want the Schoenrock controversy with the Sith Lord. But Mike, I want to remind you, I'm at 9, you're at 11. I beat you in points, tied in record. So booyah, how you like them apples. So we heard his take on the first 2 rounds here of the playoffs. Do they defer when you look at the LeRoy and Daniel matchup? Sean, I'm going to you first. Who do you think will win?
I have to go with LeRoy in this one. I'm just, like I said, that terrifying Jonathan Taylor across from you is just, it's a real thing. And I don't think, maybe a bye week stopped the momentum. That's all you can hope for. But they found the recipe of how to win, and it's used Jonathan Taylor, and the man is a beast. So I just think he carries LeRoy to victory.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, too. Daniel needs, an out-of-this-world...
Got emotional there.
No, I had to rock with the... No. Daniel, you need craziness from Prescott. He has to get back to normal. Eckler has to be healthy. Montgomery's playing a divisional opponent on Monday night. And LeRoy has Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
His lineup is better right now on paper, and I'm going to lean toward LeRoyce as well. Let's talk about the villain against the 69ers, the ultimate clash of enemies. I don't think you can call them our old name frenemies because I think that's in question this week. Where do you lean, Sean?
So this one's tight. It's going to be, I think this will be a close matchup, whereas I'm not sure that Daniel and LeRoyce's is. But I'm going to go with the doctor. I think that Tim's going to pull it out. I think that, Najee Harris is just too steady. He will continue to get you around that 20 points. Aaron Rodgers is balling out lately. Again, like I said, it's going to come down to his receivers. I think Cooper's finally healthy again. Marquise Brown, at some point, it may happen here. We'll see. Maybe it's with Hundley. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just think that he gets it done. It's going to be too difficult, I think, for the running back situation of Morgan to overcome.
Yeah, just to throw a different. I'm going to go with the 69er here.
All right. I'd love to see it.
Because of the receivers. Debo coming back. He was injured the last 2 weeks. His production being at running back and wide receiver can give him a big day.
It's true.
I really do think that, and I think Waddle will probably have a close to a 30-point game on the Jets. And so with those big boom players, he'll be in the hunt. This will be a close one. I think both games LeRoyce, if his guys are full power, it might not be as close, but I think this one will come down to the wire, and I would say the difference maker would have to be Deebo Samuel for Captain Morgan. He needs an outrageous 40-something point game from him.
It can happen. It for sure can happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what we have this week. The playoffs are here. I am doing the fill and
just chilling, just laying back.
Sit back and relax. I've never known what this feels like. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah, I can just focus on my other leagues for domination. But last week was good for me. I think I needed it for my mental state going into these playoffs.
No, it was a good one.
It only might mean the fall is worse when it happens in the second round after scoring 172. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Dalvin's back. Yeah, I'm ready.
He's ready, and I'm ready for that first pick. I always said I'm going for that number one draft pick.
This is your reminder league. If you are not in the playoffs, you are still playing very much for something.
Set your lineups.
The matchups will start, and you're trying to get that first round pick. So go hard at it.
It means to win games now. Okay,
Yep.
Don't give up now, or give up and give me the pick. I don't care. All right, guys, that's everything we have for you.
Sean Rock collusion over here.
It's all right. Just Venmo me, or I'll Venmo you. All right, guys, thank you so much.
Take the money and the pick.
Thanks for listening. Anything else, Commish, before we sign off?
No. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Coach and Commish podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Coach and Commish. And join our Facebook group called Fantasy Football Advice with the Coach and Commish for direct access to weekly waiver wire and start sit advice.